write about. Trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist. Am I worth anything or just a scout? I don't know.
That was the great sounds of Watson with Outside on WNHH LP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, with my partner in crime, Long Island raised, Elm City made, E.Z. BlueZ is in the building. Easy BlueZ, you are better with introductions more than me. Who do you have thus stay on behind the brand?
See, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a little bit of a trip, okay? We're gonna go on a journey. I like to go on journeys. So we're gonna go on a journey this afternoon. And what I really want you to understand is the connection of a scene. The connection of a scene that can sit there and be multifaceted, where it's not just about the music. It's not just about the liquid refreshment. It's not just about the sound itself, but it's when all of these things can align, and can align perfectly, where you truly have that once in a lifetime experience. And that today is what we are here to talk about. That today is not a hoax, but it is really something that you can sink yourself into. So I want you to put your hands together. Not if you're driving. If you're driving, keep your hands at 10 and 2, because we don't need any car accidents going on right now, okay? But I want you to put your hands together mentally for Austin Scott of Hoax Brewing and our good brother, who's for making his second appearance on our show, Joe from New Haven Obscura, or New England Obscura. I do apologize. Thank you guys so much for being here. And we just actually released the interview with your partner, Sean. And there's a lot that we can get into and talk about. But first and foremost, how did this partnership happen?
Well, I mean, I think I've been on Hoax Brewing now for the last 4 years, and I believe I met Joe almost a year ago.
Longer than that.
Yeah, longer than
shows.
Yeah, Joe was a part of the music scene in Connecticut pretty prevalently, and we had kind of come to the idea of putting on some sort of a music festival here at the Beer, where Hoax makes all of the beer. Also a place where Joe has done market events as well, and we kind of liked the idea of kind of going at that Woodstock kind of, jam band, hippie vibe, that thing, but, kind of colliding forces and doing a market at the same time. So, yeah.
No, see, that's incredible. And for those who have not actually been to the Bear Axe yet, you have this wonderful parking lot aspect, and then you also have the venue itself inside. So there's so many different spots that you can truly utilize to do like a festival thing, which I think is incredible. Now, obviously, you want to do the aspect as per Woodstock. Is this a one and done, or is this going to be a theme that you're going to continue to go through?
Fingers crossed. It turns into a yearly festival.
We would love for it to go in that action.
And would it just be and when I say not just like this aspect as per the festival aspect, because I mean you could put festivals for any type of genre of music, and I know that I believe you have a Skanktober festival that'll be coming through as well, and there are other types of things to go through, and the success of the market that happens there. I can see this continue to grow and build, which I think is amazing. So props to you all for knocking it out of the park.
Thank you very much.
So what's for those that are really just starting out, for those that are looking at it and being like, hey, I would totally want to put on a festival. One, y'all need to stop. You need to think about it, because festivals are one of the most stressful things you could possibly do, because you got to just putting a normal show together. You have to plan for every single thing to go wrong. And then when you do it in a festival, now you got to times that by like 35. Prestige and I have done it, and it's not fun.
It takes a special kind of crazy.
It definitely does, yeah, for sure.
Special kind of crazy.
Yep. Crazy ideas at 3 a.m, bouncing texts back and forth to each other.
Now, what were the one or two of the obstacles you guys didn't plan for?
My Lord, I think trying to contain all these different aspects of this festival, because on top of it, I mean, I'm doing fire spinning. I want live burlesque. We have magicians going around. We've, everything from something as simple as, you run-of-the-mill visual arts, crafters, to just something that is just so zany and out there. I mean, it's going to sound strange, but I wanted a goth Woodstock. So I took, a few oddities vendors, a few taxidermy vendors, and smashing them in with the, live art kids that do body painting, and I'm hoping for the best. It's going to be a weird dynamic, but it might just work.
Yeah,
it might just work.
Well, for those who truly been in the music scene for a long period of time, to me, it sounds like really original starts of like a Lollapalooza, where it is just an amalgam of incredible things that can happen at a single point in time. I also now, are you guys running a single stage, or is this going to be a multi-stage aspect?
Single stage, yeah. Basically over the I would say, I don't know, the past 6 months here at the Beerix, my business partner Sean Ritchie and I have kind of amped up, no pun intended, with all of the live music, like live sound equipment that we have, as well as the lighting. Just trying to like dial it in so we can give the most kind of professional DIY experience you could have.
And that's very, very true. We've been blessed enough to play there once or twice. The only thing that I will say is your guys' floor is very unforgiving for someone who likes to jump around like a jackpot.
Yep.
Like myself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I just fully put it out there. It hurts sometimes to play your venue, but it's a good hurt. It's a good pain.
It hurts so good.
It hurts so good. Was that a John Cougar Mellencamp? Oh my goodness, we just quoted John Cougar Mellencamp on
that.
All right, shame on us. But as you're continuing to invest in this, and I remember actually, Joe, we talked about the room in particular, and we actually talked with Sean as well. Your guys' room should not sound as good as it does. Like, by all logic and reasoning and mathematics, it should not sound as good as it does, but it has such a warm and beautiful sound to it. Have you guys figured out what the magic is there, or are you guys just not trying to question it too much?
There's a touch of magic in terms of what goes beyond what happens behind the console, for sure. But I don't know. There's just something about the room. I don't know if it's, all the tanks being full of beer. I don't know what it is, but it just, when it locks in, it has a magical sound to it. It's surreal. We're not going to, question it too much. We're just going to roll with the punches.
Easy?
Nope.
Oh, man. Wow, that was a nice still of him. I completely...
I froze.
It didn't see, like, technology is so crazy. Like, we all thought you were just still looking at us. It was a great freeze frame. It was completely
so
staring us down.
Yeah,
like with what we had to say. He's a great listener.
It was like you and Zoom had the perfect practical joke on us. It was great.
Well, here's the thing. I actually come from the. Thank you. Well, I come from the Rick Rubin school, and for those who actually know, when Rick Rubin worked with Metallica, he wouldn't even show up to sessions. It would just be a cardboard cutout of him standing there with his arm crossed and saying "Impress me."
Nice.
So that's what I was doing there. It was going, make it happen.
Oh man.
But no, like. I really dig like everything that you guys are pushing forward. First of all, I mean, your guys' flavors are incredible with the beers themselves, and we've got
so much.
Much more in-depth talk with Sean about that. And I have to say, like, one, it's awesome to officially meet you, and I look forward to when we can actually shake hands. Because
definitely.
Sean was singing your praises, which is awesome.
Very kind of him.
And I can kind of see. I can see the dynamic and how it works, which is that's incredible.
Definitely.
Now, as you continue to move forward with this festival and the next type of things you have going on, do you see yourselves taking the brewery more on the side, or is this going to be more of that perfect marriage?
I mean, I think it's perfect marriage all day. I mean, what goes better with live music than beer, right? I mean. As soon as I get to a concert, first thing I'm grabbing is an ice cold one, So yeah. I would love it to continue to be a match made in heaven type situation.
And that's a phenomenal point, because that is true. I mean, usually, I've worked the door at the State House, and the first thing I tell people when they walk in, I was like, well, the merch table is to the left and the bar is to the right, and all the other awesomeness happens by the stage. So yeah, it is true that there is this perfect type of marriage for that.
Definitely.
Now, what was the logic and the reasoning in some of these acts that you did for this first Woodstock-esque? Yeah, because you got some great acts on there. So some people I call family, actually. So
Nice. Wait, who do you call family?
OK Company.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
The funny thing is we were just listening to them on the loading dock yesterday.
We literally were, yeah.
I was so pissed that they only had 14 monthly listeners.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The musicianship.
Oh, incredible, yeah.
The musicianship. I mean, come on.
Oh, we'll see if we can change that.
Fingers crossed.
Most definitely.
Fingers crossed we do.
Well, and you know, especially with these guys, their musicianship is absolutely fantastic, and the type of human beings they are phenomenal human beings. On top of that, you know, but it does hit that marketing aspect, that point in time where, you know, they are focusing on putting the best product out there, but they're also focusing on making sure they're doing it here, which is really, really important. You know,
I don't know.
Staring us down again?
Yeah. This time with a smile. This time with a smile.
That was better. That was definitely better.
We lost him.
I'm lost again, aren't I? I'm back.
You're
back. You're back.
You're back, though.
There
You're
we
back.
go.
You're back.
There we
go.
There we go. I cannot wait until the company that shall not be named comes and actually fixes my interwebs. And the only reason why I'm not naming them, the only reason why I'm not naming them is because they don't pay us.
There you go.
Being real. You know,
real talk.
But exactly. But no, I love the point that you made where, you know, they only had like the 4 monthly listeners, and that can get really frustrating, you know, and that's why doing an event like this is so important, you know. Definitely. For no other reason of, yes, 14 monthly listeners on the grand scale of the entire world. You know, and artists can also look at that as like, hey, with everything going on in everyone's life, 14 people took 4 minutes out of their time and sat with us. And that's cool. You know, those days where I look at the Spotify numbers, I'm as impressed when, you know, we had 1,000 listens as I am when we have, you know, 2 weeks of 3 consistent listens every single day. You know, that to me, that really shows that aspect. So when you're putting together a festival like this, you have like OK Company, you have all these other incredible acts. Did you guys reach out to them, or was this just like you guys going through the people who have emailed you like, hey, we want to play your venue?
No, this was all hand curated.
Yeah.
It's essentially half and half. I mean, OK Company was my recommendation just because super, super deep love for old school blues.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the simplistic chord changes mixed in with that beautiful, beautiful melodic voice, mixed in with those keys, mixed in with the drums, then mixed in with, finally they bring in that high class guitar twang with the jazz chords, and the second I heard them, I knew I had to get them on this festival.
Most definitely, yeah.
You know, I mean, granted, it goes from, you know, ambient psychedelic rock to them, and then to just straight. It's almost like Sabbath kind of psychedelic.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little all over the place, but maybe it'll work.
Yeah, in terms of the artists that we had booked for this specific event, Joe and I kind of almost split it down the middle. I mean, some of the artists we were both friends with to begin with, and then others, I mean, obviously we didn't know, but like the last two, specifically PX3 and the 203. PX3, I randomly, our head sales guy at Hooks Brewing Company, Kevin Ty, he had brought me out after I think we closed the bar down or so one night, brought me down to Stella Blues, and I checked him out, and I was like, these guys have to play. Most definitely, without a doubt. And then the 203 is, I just had recently met Kieran, the guitar player, but my roommate, Miles DeVolsi, he's also in the band as well. So it was kind of want to help the homie out. Plus, he's a phenomenal musician. Every single member in that band is a phenomenal musician. And the cool thing about the latter end of the evening, well, there'll be some cool surprises in store. Nothing we'll mention yet, but some cool stuff will be going down, definitely.
And I will say, 203, easily one of the best sets I've seen at Stella Blues.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah, they played the after party post Lotus. and
Mhm.
Place
it
was packed. We could
shoulder
not
to
get
shoulder.
in. We could not breathe. I could barely get to the bar to get a beer.
Yeah,
But that's how I like it.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that's definitely the that shows the beautifulness that you're doing it right. And I think that's incredible. I love that you're all personally connected with the acts that go through there. And I really wanted to touch base a little bit on what you said, how there's this amazing diversity, which really, if you go back and you look at like the original Woodstock, that was there as well. You know, you had Shana Na playing, you know, on the same stage that Hendrix played.
yeah.
You know, and so that happens. Or I believe Al Green, you know, did a set as well.
Yep.
So yeah, so you know, you're paying tribute kind of more than you think you are. You know, so high five.
Yeah, no, I like that. Homage to the legendary guys.
There you go. Just don't be like the promoters for them, because they were not.
Yeah.
Nope.
They were
No,
not
probably
good
not.
at all. Yeah.
Yeah. And we will have
Yeah.
bathrooms and we'll have plenty of food too.
There you go. There you go. And there'll be
Speaking
no
of,
brown licorice.
No. Oh, God.
Speaking of food, huge thank you to Cassius of New Haven for supplying their food truck Crispy Melty.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because if there's one thing I'm going to do that day, it's going to be eat 7 grilled cheeses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are phenomenal.
Yeah. It's necessary. Grilled cheeses are important, and in that type of environment, definitely necessary.
Oh, it's going to work
Is it
The
perfect.
funny thing is, I mean, we were sitting around, we're like, we got to feed the hippies. What do hippies like? We're like, oh, grilled cheese. Yeah, grilled
Yeah.
cheese.
Well, we like grilled cheese too, so why not?
We're a little filthy hippies. A little bit. Maybe not fully. But
Look, I had a very good friend of mine that was able to follow Fish around by selling grilled
What?
cheese out of his car. You know,
There you go.
And that was how he was able to pay for the Fish shows and like live for an entire summer.
Yeah,
So-
nothing hits like a lot grilled cheese for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of,
exactly.
speaking of fish, have you guys seen our huge announcement on our Instagram?
No.
No, I
Please.
haven't, but I like to hear it on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island raised, Elm City made, EZ BlueZ is in the building on Behind the Brand. We got the people, good old people from the Beer Axe here with us on the show. EZ BlueZ, continue.
Oh no, it's not me. Not me.
Oh.
You were going to tell us
Joseph,
about that
continue.
amazing
I am
announcement.
so sorry, Joseph.
Amazing
Continue.
announcement.
Drum roll,
Good,
please.
very good. I'm easy to ignore and forget. It's okay. It's
Oh,
okay.
not at all. Not at all. Because if we ignored and forgot you, we probably would have
Quite the
forgot
opposite.
that we
Quite
had
the
this
opposite.
interview. Yes, you. Anytime our inbox blows up by Joe, I have to pay attention to it.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. So, what was this amazing announcement you were talking about?
Oh my lord. People might have taken our April Fool's joke a bit way too seriously. We announced that we had
Uh-oh.
fish coming on June 4th.
Oh.
And it's pushing almost 300 likes, and we still have yet to take it down.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe there'll be a couple fish tunes that are played. Well, maybe it'll happen. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Apologies on the crisp photo shoot. Apologies.
but
Fish
see,
don't hate us.
No, but see, those are the type of things that I think are super necessary. Like, you know, I love, you know, that kind of fun aspect, because that's at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we are all just kind of part of the P.T. Barnum aspect of, you know, putting on a ridiculous show and just being somewhat insane.
Yep.
You know, and it's so important. You know, if anybody has ever read the autobiography by P.T. Barnum, you know, he came up with these ridiculous marketing schemes that to this day we're still using. You know, he was talking about, like, at one point he hired some of the worst musicians possible to play on his balcony, and was, like, you know, advertising there was a free show. But he did that so everyone would run into, you know, his museum, and they'd have to pay to get in to get away from the really bad music.
Pretty smart.
You know.
Pretty smart indeed. We're hoping for the opposite, though. The musicians are going to be phenomenal, so you're going to want to be in the building.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
Especially, you know, even the young talent that we have opening up. I mean, King Bolette. We found them just because they're neighborhood kids that would just show up, hang out, talk to us, you know, come to our open mics. And the amount give them nothing but props to this and nothing but kudos. I mean,
Great.
oh my
great
God, no, I
people,
couldn't ask for like a better band to open up.
Yeah, no, it'd be a great way to kick the day off. And that set's going to have
I remember the first time they
surprises.
showed up here, it was just an acoustic guitar and a mandolin. And now it's just a full sound. They got heavy bass, heavy guitar, super twang, like whole pedal boards. And I think they got a clarinet player now.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know. I got to highlight them because the amount they've grown in such a small amount of time, man.
Yeah. Definitely.
Had to get them
bound for glory for sure.
Well, and you actually bring up a really important point in there for those musicians just starting out. How important is it to go and hit these open mics like the one you guys offer, or like Stella's and stuff like that? Because obviously through that open mic, they grew into a band that you're booking to open, the first part of your festival. So if we could talk a little bit about, why you guys think it's important instead of just me waxing on.
So not only that, I mean, the amount of do at something as simple as an open mic is extreme. I mean, granted, we have every, shameless self-promotion, but every first and third Thursday of the month here at the Barracks, we have open mic. But, all jokes aside, you come here, you meet, drummers, bassists, like-minded musicians who may be looking for, achievable goals. I mean, nothing's impossible, especially if you're a new musician starting out, maybe singing on stage for the first time. Use it, grasp it, work with it. And that's what happened with these kids. I mean, I reached out to them and they could not thank me enough.
Yeah.
Just to open, just to open.
Yeah.
And it speaks volumes about what can be done through something as simple as a community jam or an open mic.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, we've spoken about, I think, three or four acts off the bill. Who was the big surprise that you guys can talk about? That you guys were like, we're just gonna pitch this act, and there's no way they're gonna do it, and then all of a sudden they're on the bill, and you're completely blown away. Did that happen for this one?
It's not necessarily a secret artist that will be playing, but what maybe multiple artists may do together in a collaborative sense.
Nice.
And that's literally the name of our game here at the Beerix. So we kind of played off that a little bit. I'll leave it at that.
Of course, we don't want to.
Yeah.
No, yeah. We're not here to spoil any surprises. This isn't the day after Doctor Strange and everyone's on the internet.
Exactly.
It's not that at all. It's not that at all. But I kind of really dig what you're talking about, because we've never really dove 100% into what Beerax is, where it is this communal aspect and different brands go in there and are able to create their own brands and build through there. And from that, you guys are now opening it up for these different music brands to come through, or these different market type brands to come through, where it is a community inside of a building. I know that you guys helped with the CT Rocks Festival last month, with a great showing. Shout out to Bob DePreely. We had him on last month as well. Yep. As you continue to move forward and grow, they say all the time, the older you get, the more conservative you get. The older you get, do you think that you're going to break away? Now, I know that, like, with me, it's never, ever going to happen because, it is, I'm broken. But, do you think that you guys will ever move away from that communal aspect of it?
Not in the slightest. I mean, like, it comes down to one word, and it's like passion. Like whether it doesn't matter what happens. With like the passions that are behind the music, the beer that we make. It's comes down to the lifestyle. That's how we want to live our lives. That's what makes us happy, and it makes other people happy too, which in turn makes us even happier. So no, it's never gonna stop.
No, that's awesome, and we're really looking forward to the next aspects, the next journeys. But we still want to talk about this journey for tomorrow. Now let's tell the people, what time does this whole thing kick off? What makes them want to get there? Like, this is the time. So, they're driving in their car right now. They realize they have no plans for tomorrow. Why should they go to your show?
Well, I think it starts with Joe.
Huh.
Joe's getting everybody there tomorrow for sure.
Oh
so,
my
to
lord!
start at least. So we're starting at 11 o'clock in the morning. Music won't start till 2. But
Opening it up first thing in the morning with a vendor fair, ambient music in the background just to get everybody right, courtesy of Fork Stuff, aka Jonas, one of our lovely bartenders that we have down here. On top of that, second Crispy Melty opens up. All the vendors start to commute, walk around, get things done. Everything starts setting up. The fire troop starts setting up. I mean, there are so many different surprises coming, but it's going to be like a circus sideshow.
yeah.
It is it is absolute insanity.
It'll be a day for all the senses for sure. But yeah, no, basically, so it'll be the market.
You like music. You like vendor markets, you like vendor markets.
Yeah.
You like, something as simple as a homemade candle, we have that. You want something as complex as a painting that took somebody 8 years to create, we got that too. You want vintage clothing, I mean, oddities, taxidermy.
Yeah.
Something as simple as a balloon animal. I mean,
yeah, you name it, we are going to try to offer it to you.
You name it, it'll be down here.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so basically the market will start around 11 noon. Crispy Melty will be here, and then the whole picking some beers, check out the market, and then.
And Austin, my Goodman, the beer.
That is true too.
The beer.
Well,
my lord, we almost forgot about that. So
well, yes. So 2 o'clock music will be starting, but that day as well. Tomorrow we'll also be releasing Beer and Loathing. It's a kind of a collaboration between Host Brewing Company and New England Obscura, which is going to be we're sour beer fans all day at the end of the day, so we wanted to kind of brew something that was a little bit amped up in terms of a sour. I mean, we're also big tequila fans. At least I know I am. So we went with pineapple and blue agave.
That sounds
kind of give that, yeah.
I want that same acidity. I want the throat hit of a shot of tequila, and I mean, we were tasting it the other day. Granted, it's almost ready, but
right.
My lord, did we mimic it?
Yeah, it's tasting pretty good.
All right, I'm in. I'm definitely first of all, I have the Gonzo fist tattooed on my chest.
Hell yeah.
So just by the title alone, I would try it anyway. But now, if it got that tequila burn in a can, oh, let's dance.
It was surreal. Like when the first time we took a sip, we were like, I kind of feel like I just took a shot of tequila, but I kind of don't.
I mean, I ran up to Austin like a madman with this recipe in mind, and
yeah, he was running. Yeah, definitely.
I wanted to be able to make the same sensation of tequila, but have it be something that you can enjoy for more than 2 seconds.
Cool.
Definitely.
Oh, I like that.
Full of flavor, but palatable.
And also, you're not gonna pass out if you spend
precise.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you spend the amount of time drinking, an entire 24 ounce of tequila, compared to
not a good
24 ounce of a beer, not necessarily going to have the same type of reaction. And the next morning,
quite different effects there for sure.
Not at
all. we're all remembering that one time. I swore I was only going to have one shot of tequila. 4 bottles.
Yes. Story of our lives. Story of our lives.
Oh,
yeah.
Straight up.
Oh, you're showing up at 10:10 today. It was a long night. I'm sorry. I apologize. Yep.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. So you're releasing this beer. You've got the market starting off at 11. Food trucks coming at 12. The beer is dropping, and the first band, is a band that kind of grew up in your guys' open mic. That is kicking off the entire festival. I mean, right there, I feel like there's some sort of John Cusack movie that is filmed around all of this, which is perfect, which is absolutely perfect. And that's what we're going for. We try to live our lives Cusack efficient. It's needed. Unless you don't like John Cusack, and then we probably can't be friends. But
still. I'm a fan.
Now, for that person that's going to show up early, what's going to give them the ability to stay the entire time?
I mean, honestly, it's come for the beer, stay for the music. That's kind of what our plans are for the day, and then vice versa. You're going to go back to the beer because you're listening to the music. I mean, we're kind of, summer's about to start. Let's enjoy the whole day. It's a Saturday. Like, let's do it,
Plus, I mean, that, my ADD riddled mind was essentially like, how can I get people to stay? I mean, that was the main issue that we were obviously going back and forth with, because, people can come just for the beer, they can come just for the market, but with all these zany characters, side tracks that are going to be walking around, I mean, you're gonna want to stick around and see something weird.
Yeah. Once it gets dark outside, that's when stuff gets weird. So
It's true.
Once the sun goes down, it'll be fun for sure.
It's gonna get a little strange.
I am so super excited about it.
In the absolute best of ways.
It's true, because hey, look, we've all been downtown New Haven when it gets after dark, gets strange in not the good ways, But then
this would be strange in the best ways.
That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing. So as you move forward and you're checking all the boxes, you guys at crunch time. So as we all like to say, within the next 24 hours, this is where everything goes wrong, and then everything's right after that. How are you guys bracing yourselves for this amount of work and chaos that you're about to step into?
Well, I mean, we're certainly staffed to the gills for it. We're ready to go. So come one, come all. We're here. We're ready to go. We're going to be going to 1 a.m. So
we've got multiple people working the doors. We're going to take on a parking lot attendant to make sure there's no double parking. On top of that, we have an additional bar open for the evening with 4 additional tap lines. And I mean, we are bracing for impact.
Yeah.
There is no other explanation around it.
Yeah, I mean,
we are bracing for impact.
Every year with Hope's Brewing Company, we usually throw for our anniversary, a big festival of some kind. So it's definitely not our first rodeo. But I mean, like with all the strange, weird stuff that's going to happen, hopefully it's nice and busy, and everybody will have a great time. I think we've curated a day that it's going to be one for the books, and hopefully some just snowballs into something bigger.
No, it definitely, and I can totally see that, because yes, the bigger you guys shoot for, the more hands that are getting in there, and the more ways things can go sideways. But I mean, just even by what you guys are talking about, making sure you got the parking lot attendant, sometimes overstaffing is by far the best way to go about it, because I'd rather have too many people on and not necessarily need them, or start to let them go walk amongst the festival, than to not have enough people on and then the festival just overrun you altogether. And that's
it all
how
attributes to the
people
experience. It all attributes to the experience. So with that, what I mean? We want to have, from the second you walk through the market, second you get in the door, start to hear some tunes, like you want to have the best. We want everybody to have the best experience they could possibly have. So trying to do the best we can with that.
So now we're gonna do something I love to call a fantasy booking type of aspect. So this has now been running for 5 years, right? You guys have been knocking out of the park for the past 5 years, and it's been incredible. So 5 years down the road, who is like the pinnacle for like the anniversary of this festival? Who would you fantasy book?
I mean, no, that's a good question. I mean, I gotta just like, I don't know if it ever happened, but it's just funny to say Fish, just because of everything that's all that's been around with this event in itself. That would be a trip, but I don't know. I mean, I know I'm like myself. I mean, if we boosted this into something really big, I know one of my favorite bands is Lettuce. They're like a funk band, so that would be great. That would be absolutely surreal.
Tell you the truth, there was one more band who they've been around, locally speaking, for years that I wanted to get on this, and their schedules just couldn't attribute to it. My Lord, do I love the Cosmic Dust Bunnies. My God.
Yeah, I think that was
local legends.
Yeah, that was the first one Joe definitely wanted for sure.
They were the first band I reached out to, and I get it. We can't. Schedules are schedules, but fingers crossed.
There's always another show.
You never know in the future.
Touch base. I'm a fan.
So true.
No, it's so important to really look at too, because from a business point of view, yes, you guys are focused on making sure this one works fine, but you can't lose sight of this can build into something bigger. This, this is great, but the minute you said it runs till 1 a.m. So at 1:01, you've already got to start thinking about the next one. Hopefully, you look at it, and I know it's going to be a success. Because you guys have spent the time, doing the proper networking aspects of it. The people you have on the bill are absolutely fantastic. So that amongst itself, and then on top of that, you already have this built-in community of the markets that you guys have been running, and those different aspects, and those have done well. So when you just put them all together, it makes the most amount of sense. So, having that plan for the next one is so super important, especially, nowadays, especially where, I want to just give you guys 100% your flowers now for taking this chance to do a festival. When, we're starting to see some weird peaks and valleys in the booking aspects because of still being post pandemic, people are still not necessarily coming through, that 20% of pre-sale still has not come through the door yet. And you guys are now taking a huge swing. And that's commendable. We need more people that braveness that you guys have, that vibrato to move forward. And it's not a capitalistic vibrato. It is really that community vibrato. So I want to thank you guys for that.
Thank you. No, that means the world. That's some very kind words. Much appreciated. Yeah, I mean,
that's been always my thing too. Is you're here for a show, go watch the bands.
Yeah. No,
that at the end of the day is the most important part, is making sure that they have a crowd.
Yeah.
And fingers crossed, we did as much as we could these past 2 months as far as promotion goes, and that's what happens.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're music fans through and through. I mean, we both play, Joe and I both play instruments. I play guitar. Joe plays everything. Literally, you give him a keg and he'll make it sound musical. It's wild, which that's a possibility to happen all. But also, I mean, it's just, we want to have the same experience that the customers would be having. So, like, if we could just have our own festival where we could also be enjoying the same festival we would attend,
right?
It's a no-brainer.
No, that makes so much sense, and that's why you start to see, some of these brands, when they hold on to your fandom, and you can really send put on the show you want to see, a lot more people actually get in tune with that, because
Definitely.
You're now putting your heart and soul into it. It's not like, oh well, I've got to book this boy band festival because it's going to draw a lot of money and everyone's going to be great. Yeah. And again, I don't pour salt on anyone else's hustle. Like, if people want to go see boy bands, do what you must. Just
more power to you.
Don't invite me.
Easy. I gotta invite you each and every week on Behind the Brand on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, Long Island Raised, Elm City made, EZ Blues is in the building. We got the great people from the Beer Rex in East Haven, Connecticut. EZ Blues, continue.
Well, that's really, when you sit there and you can continuously put out something that's going to impress you all, moving forward. Do you think you're going to hit that plateau? Where, I've seen it all. I've done it all. How are you guys kind of padding for that?
I mean, I think
the funny thing about this place, I thought I saw it all already.
Yeah.
And some of the shows we've hosted, some of the things we've seen, I mean,
unique.
It's been out there, man. I don't think there's ever going to be that plateau, because there are always artists and musicians pushing that, boundary of whether it be comfort or, societal limitations.
Yeah.
We are always going to see change and development, and I hope we never reach that plateau.
Yeah, I mean, I hope we never do either. I mean, I know, being a musician myself, the whole thing with learning music, it's a lifelong journey. You're never supposed to plateau. You're always supposed to, consume more information, tweak things, and, try to make it the best you possibly can. To just, convey whatever emotion or whatever you're trying to, convey to your audience, essentially. So that being the case, I think we're always going to strive to, do better, 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 and, just make it one that's going to be memorable.
No, that's that's probably what some of the most honest, and actually not anywhere I expected that to go, to be honest with you. But no, it's so true. Because you have those very real moments, and music, no matter what, is an art form, and art is subjective, but art is also supposed to evoke an emotion, whether you love it or hate it. And if you go back throughout, we'll just say American history music, you had Alice Cooper, who, freaked out everybody at the whiskey when he was opening for the Doors, that he got everyone to leave the whiskey, before they saw the Doors. That's a true evoking emotion. Love it or hate it, as long as they're feeling something, artists, you're doing what you need to do. And I think that's incredible. Or as Cat Williams says, the more haters you have, the more success you have. So
True.
if you cannot hate on someone right now, feel free to hate on me. But it's true, and it's necessary. Now, obviously, you guys are in a super competitive market when it comes down to shows and different things like that. You guys also have been able to work with the other venues, and I think that is a beautiful thing. And I want to give you respect for that as well. But how do you deal with the haters, especially, being more in a neighborhood type aspect? How do you guys deal with that negativity?
Believe it or not, our neighbors love us.
Yeah.
I'm actually staring at this house right now across the street, and they came to grab a drink the other day, and she's like, I love the rock. I love that indie. But when you guys have those metal nights, I just don't understand. That's about the biggest complaint we've ever gotten.
Yeah. It's also like what's going on in the world right now. I mean, at this current moment, it's like we're, in terms of shows, booked almost through October now.
Mm-hmm.
And,
Right.
Musicians are hungry. They're out there. They've just spent the last 2 years not being able to play, not being able to do what pays their bills and what moves them in life.
Absolutely.
So people are ready to go.
In addition to that, it also sucks that we still have people continuously hitting us up, whether it be in our inbox or through our booking email, and we've had to turn a lot of great bills away just because of how packed our schedule is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But there's nothing personal. It's just, it's busy.
It's business.
They're all out there playing now,
Yeah. And that's something, it's so funny because I talk about it all the time. One of the promises that all of the musicians came together and they made during the pandemic is, we're going to book smarter, and we're not going to overbook, and we're going to make sure that we have the time to go support others. And then the gates opened, and it was just like, no, we want to play shows. And it went right back to that initial dynamic where I get frustrated because, like, you guys have this going on Saturday. I'm opening for Sarah Dunn for her CD release. That's the same day, and it's just like, I really wish I could go and do this, but I also have the obligation to go and do other things. That's one of the coolest things, and I love that you mentioned it with your neighbor. Because you guys put on so many different variety of shows. You can show up for those indie nights. You can show up for those crazy metal nights. You guys had a couple of great hip hop shows that came through your doors as well. So you are also feeding more into the diversity that, and in fact, last week we had Carlos Wells from the State House on, and he was talking about that was one of the most important things with the State House was they wanted to give that diversity aspect, and you guys are doing the same. And again, not pouring salt on any of the other venues' hustles, but they go by what works because they need to keep the lights on, and that's the way things go.
Of course,
so we respect it, but you guys are really offering those opportunities for those other acts, for the those other genres. I mean, you guys gave the stage when most people didn't even really know who we were. So we appreciate that, and we always have respect for you from there.
We are not elitist. I mean, a lot of people have gotten their start here, believe it or not.
Yeah.
One of the bands that I can really think of that's blowing up right now, like absolutely gaining so much traction, multiple articles already written about him. Wow, okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
I remember finding his music by accident.
Wow.
And I'm like, I'm just gonna DM him, see what he says. And he's playing shows 3 times every weekend. I mean, it's crazy just to see the musicianship. I mean, speaking of CT Rocks, even a lot of them, even a lot of those, a lot of their first shows were here, and a lot of first great performances were right in our weird little warehouse, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And not for nothing, speaking of local rap, it is absolutely flourishing right now.
Yeah.
It is.
Absolutely flourishing.
Definitely is. So many artists out there. And a lot of venues too in Connecticut too than there were before, which we're really happy about. Everybody eats, which is really good for the whole state, honestly, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I had people I went to high with, New Haven, come down to the barracks. They're like, Joe, what are you doing here? You guys like book metal? No, I'm like, no. We book everything.
Yeah.
we book everything. And I just really have to pay respect to local hip hop right now because it is, as I said, absolutely flourishing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, it truly is. I mean, I was blessed enough to work a couple of doors for Cheshki anytime he does the State House. I mean, you might as well.
Sweetheart.
It's such a beautiful experience, such an incredible show to go through. And then you also have like we've had on a bunch of times the Beat for Beat guys, where they have the producers battles, and then our brothers in the Swank Mob that are constantly pushing through, Full Blast Booking, doing their tour for life is really, really coming into their own, and I mean, we could drop a whole bunch of things that have absolutely nothing to do with your show tomorrow, or we could sit here and actually focus on what we're supposed to be doing. And why don't you tell people the address and everything there? Because I know that we are starting to wind down a little bit. And
we got a little bit of time.
I just want to make sure because we're about to go off on a whole other level.
Don't cut the window just short just yet. This is a great conversation. We just got time. That window's open just a little bit.
Actually, I've got an idea. Actually,
at the end of the day,
I've got an idea.
This is what we do. We promote artists. It's just another.
Yeah,
What about the Behind the Brand Hip Hop Festival? I'm just gonna put it out there.
Okay. Just gonna put it out. Not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea.
It's a pretty good idea.
There you go. See,
we'll have to talk.
We'll have conversations.
Come see us.
No, most definitely.
You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding.
Oh man, with the hip hop show.
Come to me with the rap.
With the rappers
and the R&B, the rhythm and blues.
Oh man.
So, as for the acts that you have coming right for tomorrow, who are the ones that you guys are the most excited to just sit in the audience for? Like, you've already planned it out, because you guys are gonna be running around, you're running the whole thing, so it's not like you're gonna have time to really pay attention to every single act. But I know that you got it written down on the schedule. At this time, this person's supposed to go on, and I am going to work the bar closest to that performance. So who is that act?
Yeah, we're going to be doing some switching around because not only am I working the bar, managing theirs, and showing up first thing in the morning for setup, loading, I do really. I love all the bands. Let me just start by saying this. I absolutely love all the bands. The musicianship is tremendous as far as, across the board. I'm most excited for OK Comfy. I mean, she has such silky smooth voice. And as I said, as a lover of just classic roots R&B, yeah.
Also,
it's a hard tie. It's a really hard tie because in the same vein, I also really want to support King Bolette. Mm-hmm. Pet sounds absolutely tremendous live. I mean, that ambient, atmospheric, almost like new wave jazz. To even try to begin to do this bill justice is just incomprehensible.
Well, I kind of planned pretty well for myself in terms of tomorrow because I'm going to be doing sound for all the bands and lights. So I kind of got the best seat in the house all day. You need a sound guy. It's pretty necessary if you're going to be running a festival, right? So. And I mean, I've been playing in bands pretty much my whole life, and I got really into doing live sound, especially like live concert lighting too over the last year or so. So for me, it's going to be great because I'll be able to watch all of them and make them sound great. at the tip of my fingers, I'll be able to make sure everybody's sounding great. But I mean, one that I'm honestly probably most excited for is going to be PX3.
Nice.
Like they are just every single set they play is completely improvisational, but it's to the point where when you hear them live, it's almost like it sounds like it's something that's written.
Right.
It's unreal, and the energy between Rob and Isaac on stage, it's baffling. It's sometimes I'm like slack-jawed at how amazing they're sounding, or how some of like Rob's rhythms are lining up to what Isaac's harmonically doing or melodically doing. So I think they're going to be incredible. But there is something that I'm even more surprised about, or not surprised about, something more that I'm more excited about that will be the surprise, but you'll just have to wait and come and see what happens.
Exactly.
Stick around. Spoilers. Come early, stay late. We got it.
Hell yeah.
We got some strange stuff happening.
Well,
come early, stay late.
If you want to know, we'll give it a little bit of a hidden aspect of there. If you have the opportunity later, go on YouTube and research Easy Blues. Where Were You? Lucretia actually sings backup on that.
Oh wow, okay.
That's how far back we go. We actually go to church together. She's a phenomenal.
No way.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, so when you said literal family, you meant literal family.
I meant literal family.
Fam.
Yeah, I meant a literal fam.
Fam vibes.
Yeah. So I'm again, I will be in a whole other town. But
it's all good. You'll be there in spirit.
Exactly. Well, now the Apollo curtain is starting to be pulled and it's starting to close in on us. At this point in time, we want to give you guys the opportunity. These next 2 minutes are 100% yours. Tell people how they can get in contact with you. Tell them how they can get to the show. Tell them how they can support you not only tomorrow, but for the many, 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 many years that you guys have to come.
Well, speaking for Hoax Brewing Company, we have a website, hoaxbrewing.com. But other than that, we're on all social media. So definitely check out Instagram and Facebook. Those are the ones that are updated the most, all the new releases, all the new shows. And then we're still doing pre-sale tickets. We'll be doing pre-sale tickets till 11 o'clock tomorrow. So you can still go on Eventbrite and search Beer and Loathing in East Haven, grab a ticket. They're only $10. You're saving $5. Might as well do that rather than pay $15 at the door.
Get the deal.
Yeah. And that's at least for all the stuff I'm associated with. Joe has some socials as well.
Per usual, if you see an event you like, I'm running it. Find me at New England Obscura on Instagram. I have a whole link tree dedicated to the nonsensical nonsense that I get myself into.
Sensible nonsense.
I mean, that's
redundant, but it works, I guess.
Other than that, come find me at the bar if you want to talk.
Yeah. We both bartend here. I do sound here at the Beerix. We're here. We're friendly people. We love sometimes we talk a little too much, but yeah, we'll have a great conversation. I promise.
Well, and what's the address for those that are there? Going to be putting it in right now.
That is 250 Bradley Street, East Haven, Connecticut, right on the corner and cusp of Laurel Street.
Exit 51 off 95.
Zip code is 06512 to be extra specific.
There you go.
Everyone's
where they can get the MapQuest now.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, come on down.
It has been an honor and a privilege. Thank you guys so much for coming on. I look forward to doing this again. You guys are so much fun. Really appreciate you.
Thank you.
No, truly.
Yeah, from the bottom of our hearts. Yeah, we've been talking about it. Thank you so much. It means the world.
No, it's great. And anything we can do, to help promote Beer Racks or Hoax Brewing, New England Obscura, you guys got friends at Behind the Brand. Thank you guys so much for coming through. We love you guys so much. And
love you too.
Do we have time for that last question?
Shoot.
Ooh, we have one last question.
If you have to give advice to that person that's just stepping into the promotion aspect, what advice would you give them?
Tell everybody and their mother.
Yeah, literally.
Tell everybody and their mother.
You are going to be stressed. You are going to have empty rooms. You are going to lose money.
Yeah.
Just keep pushing.
People don't know about things. Yeah. People don't know about things if, it's not out there to be heard. So make yourself heard.
That's awesome.
There you go.
It is an uphill fight. I mean, it's an uphill fight. It's an uphill battle. And just keep pursuing it. I mean, I've been booking local bands in my garage since I was 14, and I maybe had 3 people my first show.
Wow.
now we're doing events at the barracks where we're doing, $10,000 in sales and we can't breathe because we're packed in here like sardines.
That's great.
So don't give up.
Amen.
Yeah.
Never give up on WNHHLP 103.5 FM New Haven. Myself, Prestige, and my partner in crime, EZ BlueZ, and this has been Behind the Brand.
Wondering what to write about, trying to figure out what it's all about. Existentialist, am I worth anything or just discount? I don't know. Spending time all alone, sending my songs to the phone, dreaming of a better home, while focused on trying to hone this craft, witchcraft. I hope the brujas let this last.
I don't know if the earth is painted blue. I don't know if that's really you. I wanna go outside. I wanna go outside.
So many folks I've had to ghost. Negative ones the most. The seconds wasted. Never returned. I'm spaceship dreaming of landing home. I'm not alone.
Even though we all die, the one thing I fear is time. The seconds, the seconds, the seconds, the seconds, the seconds, the seconds.